putting these things all over the place. His goal is to have 42,000 of these up around the Earth.
Can you explain a little bit about the shield that he has on Earth? Um,
Oh, so no, what
never
he's
really
doing
heard of that.
is these Starlink satellites. This is how weird the universe is. So he builds these Starlink satellites. These are to bring internet all over the world. That's what they do. To rural areas, to other areas. This is what's keeping the Ukrainians alive, as a matter of fact, right now. These Starlink satellites. That's what's keeping them alive. That's how they can function with the rest of the world. But coincidentally, and the Starlink satellite is a pretty decent size. It's big enough so if Putin was to launch a ballistic missile towards the United States, he can retask the satellite to go bump the missile and knock it into space. Instead of letting it re-enter into Earth's atmosphere, he can actually bump it into space before it ever gets close to our atmosphere. So he
Oh,
can
well,
use a communication satellite to go knock a ballistic missile out into space. So for us now, since we have other ways to defend ourselves against missiles, this is another shield over the planet that neither China or Russia were ready for, and really have no way to fight it or deal with it. Um,
Tamara has a question, buddy.
Go ahead, Tamara, with your question.
Why do they need that many satellites?
I asked that very same question because he wants it. So get this. So he's building these satellites so that when they turn on an angle, you can't even see them in the atmosphere. Because if they turn this way, you would see like this big hunk of satellites all around the planet. But he turns them this way, and they're very thin, so you don't actually see. The man thinks of all of this stuff, which is amazing to me. But this is to crisscross all communications on Earth and make everything in real time. So if you're running a fast computer, it won't matter who you're talking to anywhere in the world. It's going to be like it's going to be much faster than it is today, much more stable than it is today. And he's making it to where it's going to be like, I think he said something about $100 a year, and everybody's basically going to have free internet.
Wow.
I don't. He's got a. You got to remember, he always has an alternative reason for everything he does, because everybody forgets he's working on the Neuralink. That little thing you're going to put in your brain, you'll be able to link to Starlink with the Neuralink.
Oh my God, we'll be dead, Joe.
No, I'm pretty sure Neuralink will be out long before we're dead. There's prototypes already, so yeah,
So
people.
actually, you're connect your computer.
Basically, yeah, you'll just connect it. It'll be a Neuralink, and you'll just tap right into your computer. So instead of sitting here and reading on it, it'll all just be in your head.
Oh my God.
You got to remember, people, if that's the case, always remember to turn your camera off in your head because you never tell where you'll be. People be like, "Oh no, come on, man! They didn't just really do that."
Well, that's basically AI. What's his thinking on AI? Have he said
The
anything?
AI is going to take the world over and kill all stinking humans. But it tells you how dumb humans are. So the first question anybody asked the AI was, "How do you save the planet?" And what do you think it said? Kill all the humans. So then they're like, "Oh, well, AIs." Even though you asked how to save the planet, you should have asked, "How do you save the human race?" That should have been the question, not "How do you save the planet?" Because if you're going to just save just the planet, then humans got to go. And even the youngest AI would know that.
Hmm.
So you see, that's the thing with AI. It's always going to be on how the question is presented and what kind of answer you're going to get. So you can't. I mean, humans are stupid. They ask stupid things sometimes, and you can find yourself in a crunch with an AI because you asked a dumb question without actually thinking the question through. Once the AI formulates it, it may be hard to get it to change its mind. Randy, there's quite a few different types of AIs out there, but there's you're talking about so there is one that will write for you, and there is one, I can't remember what it is right now. I got it somewhere that will do artwork for you. Yeah, I had Jeff Weiner on a few months ago. He's an author. Well, he's actually an author and an illustrator, and he did a banner for my show UFO on the Cover. It's a fabulous banner. You can go see it
Yeah, it
anytime.
was. Yeah.
It took all of about 4 minutes to make. There's no copyright on it. I can use it for whatever I want to use it for. It's It's hard. I mean, because Arthur made, an illustrator may have took a couple of days to finish that picture out or do it right, or um, even somebody who was using, one of the app makers or one of the banner makers or something. Even they may have taken a little while to put that together. I mean,
Okay,
literally.
Tamara has a statement or a question.
Go ahead.
So Wi-Fi puts out energies that affect our health. So what is the energy put out if the satellite circles the Earth? How will that affect our health?
Ooh, now you see, it all depends on what kind of energy it is. So, and you absolutely 100. Because I used to work in the Navy. I used to work on radar. That's what I did. I was AT advanced electronics expert, and so wavelengths affect us in all sorts of ways. Sometimes they can actually affect you good, and they can also give you bad health and cause lots of issues. Basically, from what I see from Elon Musk's stuff, Elon's interested. So remember, he cost himself $100 billion so he could show us the people how we were being treated and how we were being mistreated, and how Twitter and the government and these big corporations and the FBI got together and decided what news we should have. That's why he did that. That was the whole reason. Remember, he's the one that released the Twitter files. So he knew this information was out there, and that's the whole reason he did this. Took a big hit on himself to do it. Most of what Elon is doing, he's doing for us. So these satellites he's putting up there are really so that the average everyday Joe um, can use these to talk to the average everyday Joe on the other side of the planet for free. Right now, he charges $400 for the setup, and I'm sorry, $500 for the setup, and $100 a month. But that's for people living in rural areas. But his goal is to bring free internet to the world, and not just internet. These things are going to allow for other types of communications to be around, uh, to be able for other things on the planet to be able to use these for other types of communication. Because remember, like I said earlier, the Ukraine is using these right now to sustain a war against Russia. So just this little bit of technology that he put up there, really, so you could watch Netflix. Really, that's what it really was originally for. Is now being used to wage a war in the Ukraine. Just shows you how adaptable Elon's technologies are. Remember, this is the only guy who's been able to land a spacecraft. Not like the shuttle, but just actually land the rocket. He's the only one. China said they're still 10 years away. So right now, Elon Musk, his space program is better than the United States, Russia, China, India, and the UK combined. He's already landed more than 200 times. He's
Well,
proven that his rockets are reusable and he reuses them all the time. He's put more payloads in space than anybody else in the history. This guy is just he's changing the way we look at space.
okay,
He's
so I'm going to come back with this question. How come the federal government go after him like they go after everybody else?
they went after him yesterday because he said that anti-Semitic bullshit, which is his right as an American citizen, but he's lost three big companies over it. But I don't think he cares. Um, I think in the end he doesn't really care. I mean, he wants to say what he wants. He's a firm believer in the First Amendment. He's a firm believer in free speech. He
Right,
believes
that's what I'm saying. You know
uh,
how our government goes in and takes away stuff that people invented. Why didn't they ever go in and take his stuff?
because he's the richest person on the planet, and he would blast it all over the world. So it's not beneficial, and the U.S. doesn't really have to, because remember he's in partner with NASA.
Okay, I didn't
Yeah,
know that.
yeah. So even though NASA is the civilian branch, it is still militarily controlled, and yeah. So they're in partner with NASA, so they get a lot of these technologies anyway. Matter of fact, because of that, because Jeff Bezos' Blue Origins is also in link with NASA, they also benefit from some of Elon's technology because they're also with NASA and NASA shares. So what Elon's sharing with NASA, NASA's sharing with other people. But Elon's not giving them, we're not going to show you how to land your spacecraft, dude. You've been having a space company for 50 years. You need to figure that shit out on your own. It's well, they get ready to launch the big heavy one tomorrow.
Yeah, I heard
Yeah.
that.
So we'll see how that goes. His
And
goal
where's that
is,
one going?
I think it's just a test launch, probably just going up and coming down. It's so people. His goal is this ship that's being launched tomorrow is to have more than 100 of these going and coming from Mars daily. So originally, everybody said this was going to be a one way ticket to Mars. They were going to start sending stuff there and leaving some of them behind so they could build colonies or use them for places like that. Elon is the first person. I've been saying this for 3 decades. If we're going to colonize Mars, why don't we get inside Olympic Mons? Because it's the biggest volcano out there, and I'm sure it's got some really deep protection in it. It's got some really good lava tubes in there that are probably huge enough to put cities in. And being as deep as they are, they're well protected. You don't see any big holes blown through it from meteorites or anything. So it's a good place to start a colony, and you make it easier to generate oxygen. You won't have to build big cities around it. You can just close off the tunnels themselves and fill the place with oxygen. And yeah, it would make a colony fast, and then you can expand out from there. He's the first one actually heard say, well, yeah, it's kind of like a built-in city for us.
Hmm.
He's thinking about this kind of stuff. He wants to go to Mars. He wants him and 10 of his kids to go to Mars. He wants to have another ten kids, by the way. But
He
he
has 10 kids. I
he's
thought he
got 10.
wasn't married.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if he's been married for every time, but he's got 10 of them, and wants to have another 10. And from what I understand, only one of his kids don't like him. It's
Oh,
one of the
wow.
girls. Yeah, it was one of the girls. Well, out of 10, 9 out of 10 is not bad odds.
No, no, not at all.
And you
Well,
never
they
know
know how rich they are going to be, or they
when
are.
they go to Mars. Um, well, money won't matter on Mars, will it?
Uh,
It'll matter on Earth, but it won't matter on Mars. Well, I guess in some way it will. Oh, by the way, the Starlink satellites are not also going to be here. So when he goes to Mars, he's going to build, I think they said 4,200 and put them around Mars. And they're going to actually be able to be tied into the satellites around Earth. So you'll have about, I think they said about 4 minutes to communicate back and forth. Um, so you'll actually have real time communication or close to real time communication. I'd say 7 minutes, but close to real time communication with your friends and family on Earth. No, you won't be
wow.
able to play no video games, but you'll be able to watch movies and stuff like that. Yeah, a little solar flaring and crackling and shit. Elon's brilliant. He's not stupid, and he wants Mars. He wants to get over there. He wants to really have. I think he said by 2030 or 2035, he wants to have 1 million people living on Mars, and going and coming and working, and more people going and coming. Now remember, people, because people tell me, "Well, I'm going to get to go. I'm a plumber. I ain't going to get to go. I'm a policeman." So all these jobs are needed. You're not going to have your top scientists and your top leaders out there fixing the plumbing and fixing the electrical work and fixing or building or changing things. That's going to be the everyday Joe's job, just like it was here. It's going to be it is there. So you're going to need everyday people to go. Well, I wouldn't say everyday people. Anybody going to can live on Mars got to be a little bit more than everyday people, but you're going to need those people, so you'll get to go. If you really want to go, and think about this, think about the pay to go spend 5 years on Mars. You could probably retire when you came back to Earth.
Yep.
And then you might get lucky because as Mars starts to explore the asteroid belt, because that's where they're going to explore it from, is from Mars. That's another thing Elon knows about. And right now, there's one asteroid there that's worth more than everything on the planet combined. Everything, like fourfold more worth
It
more than
what
that.
got all kinds of gold, silver,
Yeah, well, I
platinum,
think it's gold and
palladium.
platinum. There's a couple of them in there that it's all in that one thing, and they're estimating because the mass of this was about a planet 5 times the size of Earth, whether it formed or it didn't form. There's a lot of asteroid there. There's a lot of stuff to look for.
Well, why can't he put people on the asteroid
They
right
probably
now?
will. They probably
My,
will. No, they want to go to Mars first, so they have a place set up. Because you might need recovery things or people to go out and save people, and Mars isn't that far from the asteroid belt. So you can set it up there and probably be a couple of hours away if you had to go get somebody or save somebody. And you need a place to refine it. So you'll probably refine some of it in the asteroid belt, but a lot of it will get refined on Mars. And Mars is going to want to do that anyway because it's going to create greenhouse gases, which will help warm it and raise the pressure, so you won't have to wear suits all the time. You'll still have
Mhm.
to wear a breathing mask, but you won't have to wear the suits all the time. So it's a dual thing. I mean, it's well thought out. I mean, you and I might see it get up and running. But no, I'll be dead before Doctor Who lands on it. Sorry. Yes, I seen that episode, people.
I'm surprised. I would call Elon Musk Doctor Who. Come on.
Uh, what Doctor Who? Doctor Who? We know he went to Mars twice that I know of. Oh wait, if I go to old Doctor Who, it's more than that. No, that's about the new Doctor. He's been to Mars twice that I know of. Yes, yes. Once with the British soldiers, and once when he was still David Tennant. What do you mean? Who's the greatest Doctor? Who do you think's the greatest Doctor? So I'll put a poll up and y'all can tell me who it is. But I already know that Stephen Baker or whatever his name's going to win. He always does. He usually wins, and David Tennant's usually right behind him, followed by Matt Smith. And somehow or another, Donna is the most liked companion. She's not even close to my favorite. But when she plays the Doctor Donna, she's really, really good. So maybe that's why she gets it. I don't know. I have
Well,
no
it's
idea.
coming up on Christmas, so I'm sure they're going to come in with a new Doctor Who, right?
Oh yeah. Well, no, it's Thanksgiving. David Tennant's heirs. There's three of them, I think, and then the new Doctor comes in on Christmas.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So David Tennant's filling in right now. For some reason, they decided to give him some episodes because the other guy is in the middle of filming something when he was supposed to be starting the Doctor Who series. So yeah, if it's the same guy, he's a black gentleman, looks pretty good, looks like a decent actor. So we'll see how he goes. It doesn't matter what color, it doesn't matter what kind of acting he does. What do you mean you don't never want to see a woman doctor again? Well, okay. She had some issues, but hey, look, Missy was good. The master, when she played Missy, she was good. I don't want to take anything away from that, so don't be hating. Well, you're right. In the old Doctor Who, they said you couldn't change sexes because it was too confusing for everybody around you. So it was just one sex. So if you were born male, you can only be male through all of your reincarnations. They changed that in a new Doctor Who. And they changed a few things in a new Doctor Who. Yeah. New times, new places, the world changes. I have no idea. But I do like to. Oh, and another thing. Here's another thing. That's the whole reason I brought up Elon. I forgot about this. So Elon's now telling us he can put up 100-mile by 100-mile satellite, a mirror in space, and America can have free electricity for life.
Wow. Oh my God.
So he said after the initial cost of putting it up, he said, which there'll be some taxes on, but really the Fed should pay for. He said it's not going to be that expensive because his ships could be put up and reused. And he said the mirrors themselves are not good. He said they can mass produce them, by the hundreds pretty fast. He said so, and boom, that's it. America is no longer energy dependent. And what's nice about it, if you do it that way, you can actually run. And this is a Tesla idea, by the way. You can beam the power directly down to whatever house, car, whatever it is you need to. And it's beamed in a type of microwave that's not harmful to humans, but still powers your vehicle in your home.
Hmm.
Yeah, so it's a different, well, people. So let me tell you something. Who said that was a stupid comment, Mark? So if I light up if I light up a radar beam, and let's say I want to check an airplane, say 500 miles away, and you walk in front of it, you are now barbecue from the inside out. I've actually seen it happen. Oh yeah, I seen a panel break in a Navy. We were working up there, and the panel broke before it was shut off, and barbecued the whole right side of the guy. He lost an arm. He had major issues. It was I don't know, it was somebody's mistake for not turning off the panels before they started. It wasn't his. That wasn't his job. But he should have checked to make sure they were all off. I would have. It's dangerous shit. So, and then there's other types of microwave, like this stuff that's plugged in our ears when you got your Bluetooth. That's a form of microwave as well. Your phone, the way your phone works, that's another form of it. So there's passive waves and there's more direct waves, and but that's the other thing when Tamara brought that up earlier. You never know which waves is doing harm. I mean, there's a big argument about holding your phone to your head is going to eventually start causing brain cancer. That may be true, but we've now had cell phones for at least 20 years. And I don't know. I haven't really seen an increase in brain cancer. Maybe
No.
hair loss, but not brain cancer.
Oh, look. Yeah, look at this.
That's what I'm saying. Maybe it's hair loss, people, but if that's the case, all guys are going to give them their damn cell phone immediately. I don't, John, it's right now with the Israeli war and the Ukrainian war, the world's on a teeter spot. If someone does something stupid, like Putin's been pulling out of two zones in Russia, taking his troops and all out. Why do you do that? If you think you've won or you're going to win, why do you do that? Or unless you're planning on using something big that would do damage to your troops or do damage to your machinery, that's the only reason you would pull out, unless you're really planning on giving that territory back. I
Well,
would think low yield tactical nuke, one kiloton. What was that, Sean?
yeah, I was thinking it's amazing that you hear nothing of the war in Ukraine nor what's going on in Israel. In the Gaza Strip. You don't hear nothing more on the news.
You get. Oh, you'll get like one article. Let's see. We'll flip through these right quick. So where are we at right now? So we're at Microsoft News right now. So let's see. Let's see. We'll just bring it up right quick. Okay, something about Trump. Okay, yeah. Satellite photos of crowds trying to flee Gaza. Okay, well, there we go. There's something about Gaza. That's stupid. China policy experts warn U.S. facing a dangerous situation where a war can start. Well, okay, we already knew that. Rogue black hole 5,000 light years away. Oh, that's cool. Hubble finds it. Putin seizes control over Carlsberg and Russia bosses detained. Wait. Oh, Putin seizes. Okay. Control over Carlsberg and Russia. It's a beer company. Putin must be thirsty, man.
Yeah.
Russia loads missile with nuclear capability glide vehicle into launch silo. Ooh, that's not good.
But think about it, Joe, right? Honest to God, all that work that Putin is doing with his ballistic missiles, not realizing that it would never hit here in the U.S.
Oh, he does.
And,
But
and all that work he puts into it, he launches it, and it's going to go out into outer space. I mean,
if
come on.
if he's launching it at us,
That's a question. Think
yes,
about it.
because
What
he
if
said
it
his
was?
first target was going to be London.
That wouldn't be good for him.
Well, because he wanted to teach the EU a lesson in NATO, so he would go after London. Well, let me tell you what. First off, England has its own nuke, so it's going to instantly freaking nuke Russia back, and then the U.S. is going to be like, "Look, Russia, you better chill because we got 5,000 nukes. So
Hmm.
you're just going to need to chill your little ass out with this before some real big nukes start flying around." And then
Then
Biden
you go to
ordered the
Canada.
okay. Uh,
But
oh no, I was thinking that Biden just ordered those Planet Buster nukes. It's about double the power of the biggest one we got now, and double the range. So basically, we can fly anywhere in the world now and just blow your ass up with a ballistic missile. We don't even have to send bombers, but we have bombers and we have stealth bombers. We also have neutron bombs, which are not explosive bombs; they're just radiation bombs that leave everything intact. Um, there's a lot of ways the United States can go now, and we also have concussion bombs. We have Hades bombs. U.S. has lots of options of blowing shit up in its arsenal, and much more than any other country does. What do you mean, crackle? You're talking about hypersonic missiles? Yeah. Well, let me. I got a question for you. What's a hypersonic missile? Anything over Mach 5, right? How fast do you think a ballistic missile travels? They're hypersonic missiles. They're just big ones. Sorry, my friend. And when they re-enter, they're actually going quite a bit faster than Mach 5. Well, the space shuttle used to re-enter anywhere from Mach 29 to Mach 31. Uh, mm, Fast. That's what I'm saying. So a phalanx missile system can a hypersonic missile can be shot down with the phalanx just like any other missile can be. Well, regular ones coming in are going to be around Mach 2 anyway, maybe Mach 3, so they can shoot those down. Well, the hypersonics are really only 2 or 3 Machs faster, so they can still shoot them down. Yeah. What you have to worry about is they have skipper missiles, which can turn and kind of are stealthy, so you might miss one from here and there. What do you mean if they hit a ship? If they're not a nuclear missile, it's probably not going to sink any of our ships. Maybe a small one, but an aircraft carrier, no. An aircraft carrier could take several torpedoes and several missiles. Yeah, they're designed to take be they're designed to be in combat while being hit. That's what they're designed to do. That's what they're for. Yeah, well, the aircraft carriers are only for one thing: to turn and to kill people. That's or two things. That's the only things they do.
Yeah, I
Um,
was on one.
yeah, I was on one too. That's what they do. They kill things,
Hmm.
and they kill things in really big ways. Democrats turn on Joe Biden as pressure grows to not run.
I don't
No
believe
more
that.
Joe. No more Joe. No more Joe. No.
I
Hey,
don't
wait.
believe that. I don't believe that.
I
No.
think I think they might finally be getting. Well, his Joe's got a lot of issues. So not just that Donald Trump, who may be going to jail, is 5 points ahead of him. He's got other issues, with bad deals, stupid economy. I love when he gets on TV and he goes, "Hi, I'm Joe Biden, and this is the best economy in
Yeah.
50 years." And I'm like, wow, is this dude on crack? I'm thinking to myself, I want somewhere where this guy's smoking. I mean, if I lived in that world, what would I care how much things cost? But and you know what? In all fairness to Cracker Joe, if you make more than $250,000 a year, this is a good economy for people like
Dude,
that.
did you see when he did um, that address or whatever he called Xi a dictator, right?
Yeah, he
And
is a
who's that
dictator.
Blinken dude? The Blinken guy
Oh
that's
yeah,
right.
Blinken. Yeah, the
You
guy's
should
been.
have seen his face when he said that. When Biden called him a
Well,
dictator.
good. I'm glad to hear Biden actually grew a third ball and said something. Um, No, people. I mean, really, he is a dictator. That's what he does. He is the. I don't care if you can call him. You can call him president